Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new horror thriller from Netflix, Run, Rabbit, Run, from director Dana Reed and writer Hannah Kent. And this particular film, coming from Australia, starring Sarah Snook from Succession, who is actually an Australian actress, which I didn't know. And Sarah, her character, is a fertility doctor who has her daughter Mia, played by Lily Latourie, and they're struggling with some things in terms of Mia's father not being in the picture as much, a tumultuous relationship that Sarah has with her mother, which is why Mia really doesn't know her grandmother. But when things start getting weird, when they do visit the grandmother and she thinks that Mia looks exactly like Sarah's dead sister, things get weird when Mia starts wanting to be called her dead sister's name, and it makes things complicated. And you think, like, this is such a strange and mysterious setup for a film, which it is, and I think Sarah Snook, because it gives a great performance here. This in many ways feels like kind of a shallower, underdeveloped version of The Babadook, yet another Australian horror film with mother and child and a tumultuous relationship and something looming over them. But what doesn't work as well as this particular film, things feel drawn out, feel very sluggish for only a 100-minute film. It's one of those kinds of things where you sit back and feel like there's not a lot of urgency to things. There's not a whole lot of payoff to what's going on in the film, and it's taking its swell old time trying to process everything with a very thin and shaky narrative that doesn't really deliver in a way that feels satisfying or really gives you an opportunity to sink your teeth into this story. But Latourie and Snook's performances are strong. They anchor this film. It does have a specific visual palette that's dark and ominous, but it becomes lethargic and sluggish instead of tense and suspenseful. And that's not going to be really helpful. And I feel like this film could have dug a little bit deeper into challenging the ideas of these abuses and the generational trauma that the film's trying to tackle, but it doesn't really tackle it very well. And I feel like Sarah, the character, is overly stubborn to the point where there really wouldn't be as much problems if she just would have made some better choices. But I feel like she makes specific choices to keep this very thin narrative going past its due date. But in the end, I do feel like this is quite a disappointment and an unearned horror thriller experience, even with the strong performances anchoring it along the way. But those are my thoughts on Run, Rabbit, Run. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.